Good morning, friends. Welcome back. It's a glorious morning here in Ohio. So Maggie and I are gonna do a little garden cleanup today. The beds back here desperately need some attention for spring. They need to be freshened up, weeded, mulched, all that good stuff. And then I'm also very excited because we're gonna continue this bed that you see here along back. I need to edge out new beds, weed. It's gonna be a big project. We're gonna do some planting, and I have Caleb working on a new window box for our kitchen window, which is back here. So we're gonna be able to put herbs and lettuce and spinach and different things to be able to just grab and have on hand. So I am super excited. But to start off with today's project, we're going to work on this back bed. And the first thing I need to do is just clean up the bed. Lots of debris and leaves and twigs and things I need to cut back. And honestly, I love pruning. It's one of my favorite chores. It's just so satisfying and therapeutic. But before we go any farther in today's video, I kindly wanted to take a second and thank today's video sponsor, Planta. It's no secret if you've been around my channel that I love plants and I love gardening, but I'm not always the most responsible when it comes to remembering when I last watered or how to care for my plants. And Planta has really helped me in my plant care journey. I've really enjoyed having Planta Premium because it really takes the guesswork out of caring for your plants. I'm opening up the app right now to show you guys just how cool this is. As you snap a photo of a plant, categorize it in a certain location. So all my plants on my front porch are categorized, all my plants in my kitchen are categorized, that kind of thing. And that way you can put how much sun the plant is getting, what kind of pot the plant's in, what kind of soil you're using. It takes everything into consideration and tells you exactly how to care for that plant. So all of my plants around my house and my potted plants outside my home are all on a care schedule right here in the app. So for instance, when I pull up the app, it tells me the weather. So if there's gonna be like a freeze or a frost warning, I can pull things in. Since it is April, it tells me when to water things. So tomorrow I have a couple things on the agenda. In 2 days, I have a couple things. You never have to wonder. It tells you exactly when, and you can kind of just keep up with it, and it helps me keep my plants alive. Another cool feature is the plant identification feature. So you go into the app, and let's say you want to add a plant. You can scan the plant, and it will tell you what that plant is. So I'm gonna, just for kicks, do this plant right here. Take the image. It's searching for a match. I don't know if you can see that. And sure enough, it popped up. It's basil, which I already knew, but I just wanted to show you that feature. That way, maybe you have a plant around your home and you don't even know what it is. It'll tell you what it is, and it'll tell you exactly how much sun it needs and how to care for it. Another feature in the Planta app is Dr. Planta. Maybe it just looks a little sick or something isn't right, it's slowly dying. You snap some photos of the plant and you answer a variety of questions like, how close is it to an air conditioning unit? what kind of soil's in it, what size pot is it planted in, all kinds of questions. And it gives you a diagnosis for what's wrong with the plant. Another one of my favorite features about the Planta app is the Discover tab, and it just has so many cool ideas. It gives you plant recommendations based on what they already know you have. For instance, it's given me several other suggestions for some plants that would go well on my front porch, like a common ivy or coriander or elephant ear. Some plants that have similar skill level as plants that I already have, plants they know will work in your light setting for that area. It's really neat. It helps me think about plants that I otherwise would have never thought about and gives me some great ideas. So if you're a plant lover like I am, be sure to use the link down in my description below and download the Planta app. Use code AMY14 and you get a free 14-day trial on the premium Planta 12-month plan. So thanks again, Planta, for sponsoring today's video, and let's get back to gardening. So we almost have an entire wheelbarrow full of debris and weeds. We got this weeded. I bought some plants yesterday. I got a blueberry bush. Hang on, that's loud. I got a blueberry bush, raspberry, and blackberry. And I'm gonna add it to the cottage garden here. I think that's really quaint. I think I'll end up having to get some trellises, but I think that'll be pretty. Yeah, I think since I don't treat this bed with any weed killer or anything funky, I think this will be a good spot. When we finish today's project, of course, I'll go back in and share everything that's planted here and how it's looking. But if you just want a little refresher of everything that's in this bed, I did a video last spring, and I also just shared some basic tips on starting your own cottage garden. So definitely check that out in the description if you haven't seen that video yet. I think having these berries in this garden bed is so fun. I don't think we're gonna produce a ton of fruit or anything. If anything, we'll probably just be feeding the birds. But I think it's really sweet, and just the concept of coming back here, sitting down, grabbing a raspberry if you see one, having a little snack. Just sounds fun to me. But now we're on to the mulching, which this is like the lipstick on the garden bed, right? It's that final touch that makes a huge statement. We went with black mulch this year. I think last year we did dark brown. Either one I love. I love the contrast. All the green really pops. You can really see what's coming in and what's blooming. And mulched really is a game changer when it comes to the spring and cleaning up your beds. There is nothing quite as satisfying as fresh new mulch. I guess that's just part of growing up and becoming an adult, getting excited about little things like this. Okay, taking a break from mulching, we're gonna start edging out this bed. I have an edging tool you can see me using here, and it just helps you get a really straight, perfect line when you are creating new garden beds. I definitely recommend something like this if you're ever building one out. It's much easier than trying to use a shovel. But I'm just gonna do the edging. Caleb ended up cleaning out the beds for me. He's such a sweetheart. after I finished the edging while I went and ran errands and picked up some new plants. So that was all done off camera, but I wanted to show you guys edging out this bed, and just know I'm about to run out to Lowe's in the garden center and get some new plants, and Caleb is gonna clean this bed up, and then when we're done with all of that, I'm coming back and we'll continue on. Okay, you wouldn't guess it, but it's about 2 hours later. You can see the bed is all cleaned up thanks to Caleb. You can also tell from the last clip that it looks much cloudier. And over the next couple of clips, really this last hour or two of working back here, we did get some rain, but it was really refreshing. It wasn't bad. But I picked up some new rocks at Lowe's. I just needed to add some more. We had lost some over the winter, and this has worked really well at the bottom of our drain. It's helped keep the plants drier, their feet aren't as wet, and water doesn't pool up or puddle up anymore. So if you have a drainage pipe that happens to be coming out right where you have some plants, I definitely recommend adding just some cheap rock. It's a really quick fix. I'm so excited. I don't know if you can see that bush, there it is, that I'm mulching around right now. That is a snowball viburnum. It will get really big. Eventually it'll probably take over that whole area, but it blooms these gorgeous white flowers that kind of look like hydrangeas. So pretty for the spring. If you have any questions about building a window box, or you're interested in learning how or our method, we did an entire video on this exact process last summer when we built our front beds. So I will link that down in the description. We're not going over it today since we already did a video on it. But now we're gonna plant some more. I'm super excited. These are the variety Love Song. They are Weeks roses, beautiful growers. I have several of their roses already. So pretty. These will get pretty big, so I wanted to give them plenty of space to fill out together. And it claims that the petal color is lavender, which I don't have proof of yet because I can't see any blooms on the rose bush, but that just sounded beautiful to me. Lavender colored roses. I went with more of a cool tone sort of color scheme in this cottage garden, so I thought that lavender color roses would be perfect. So I'm planting 3 of those in a row there, and then in the back corner you can see I also picked up a new clematis. I think one of the many reasons that I love gardening so much is that most of the planting you really have to do in faith. I love planting something that hasn't bloomed yet, whether it be a seed or a small shrub, and just watering it, caring for it, and slowly but surely watching it come to life, watching it bloom and caring for it, I think is so neat. I think there are a lot of life lessons that we can learn in the garden. And again, I think that's why I just enjoy doing it so much. But now I'm planting this clematis on, well, not on the shepherd's hook, I'm planting it in the ground, but I'm just temporarily using the shepherd's hook to give it some stability. I want to find a cool bird feeder to hang off the hook. That's my laundry room window. So being able to look out when I'm doing laundry and see some birds feeding, I think would be really neat. Okay guys, be honest, it's okay. Give this video a thumbs up if you're ready for me to be done mulching. I'm ready for me to be done mulching by this point. It was a lot of mulching, but we got it done. And now, before dinner and before the night is over, I want to quickly get this box stained. I am using Minwax stain in the color Coffee. I happen to have it on hand. I didn't go out and shop for this project. I just try to use what I had to save some money, but it's really pretty color. It's very rich, chocolatey, dark brown. It's a gel stain, so you kind of paint it on and then just wipe it off, and it dries really fast. So I did one coat of stain on the entire box, and then we'll go ahead and seal it. And the sealant claims that it only takes an hour to dry. So I was able to actually plant on this evening as well. And now for the fun part, we get to plant. Full disclosure, I filmed a clip of everything we're planting today and the audio was bad, so we're not going to use it. I'll just explain as we go. We drilled drainage holes in this window box, so I like to cover those holes with coffee filters before I pour soil in. That way when we do water, nothing spills out onto the brick. Just a little tip. But for my anchor plants in this box, even though this is more of a functional box, you know, for lettuce and herbs and things we use in the kitchen, kind of a kitchen garden off this windowsill, I still want it to be visually beautiful, and I want to be able to see things in the box from inside the kitchen. So for my anchor plants, for my thriller, if you will, we are planting lavender. And it is so whimsical and beautiful. I love this soft purple. It really does make it feel more like a cottage style box. Well, that escalated quickly, didn't it? Like I said, we lost that clip where I went through, explained everything and placed it. But now I am taking everything out of the pots and doing the actual planting. My method for this was to use those 3 lavender as anchors, the center one being sort of the focal point, and then I mirrored either side. And I mirrored the box with things like rosemary, thyme, spinach, curly kale, romaine, red romaine, 1 or 2 other lettuces, and some vine for a spiller. And I think it turned out really beautiful. I'm excited to continue to watch everything fill in, but I'll give a full tour tomorrow. As you can see, we're losing daylight here, but the very last thing I did on this evening was water everything in. And how sweet is this? You'll see here in just a second. Caleb is able to open up the window and hand me a pitcher of water, and that just made my day.
Good morning, friends. The sun is not even up yet this morning. It's bright and early. I finished planting up this box just moments before the sun went down, so I quit filming and I figured I'd get up this morning and give you a quick tour of how everything turned out. I am so happy with how this box turned out, you guys. It's exactly what I pictured. It's so cute. So let's turn the camera around and I'll give you a quick tour. Okay, so here is how the cottage bed is looking, all weeded, mulched. Looks like a brand new bed. I feel like everything looked sad yesterday, and today it just has new life. I feel like my roses are starting to really take off in here. Those are some daisies between the roses I can see there. My catmint is really filling out. If you want to see everything I have planted in here, I do have a video on that. I'll link it for you guys. That's the raspberry bush we planted yesterday. The Veronica's looking great. Oh, this phlox bloomed since yesterday. That's exciting. All of this phlox is so pretty. That's the blackberry bush. Got lots of salvia coming up. These are my, this is my Bobo hydrangea. I feel like the buds are really starting to swell. That's gonna have leaves on it in no time. And then this lungwort here is just so pretty. The pink and the purple is so beautiful. I'm so glad I planted that in this bed so that now I know in April I've got something that's blooming and looking good. And then you can see over here we added just a little bit more river rock, and it's not perfect now that I'm looking at it. I need to go back in and touch up a little bit, but we did this because our drainage is right here, and at first it was puddling up, pooling water constantly, and nothing could stay alive over here. And ever since I split the bed and added the rock, we've had zero issues. So just a suggestion, cheap suggestion, if you have some drainage issues going on, it's working good. Let's see. That is my snowball viburnum bush, and I feel like it is just growing. It's taking off. I love the leaf structure on this. I think it's so pretty. When this starts to bloom, I'll have to take you guys back out here. Maybe we'll make an arrangement or something. And then yesterday you guys saw me plant this clematis. How pretty. It lost a few leaves in the planting process, but hopefully it gets some more flowers on it soon. And I still have to find, this is not like permanent yet, I still have to find a bird feeder. I want to be able to look out my laundry room window and see some birds. But yeah, we'll see. But for now, I am liking the clematis there on something that it can grow up on. And then the 3 rose bushes that we planted together yesterday, they look so tiny, but I wanted to give them plenty of room because they will get big and fill out. And I'm gonna leave their information on the screen here. But supposedly they're gonna bloom lavender colored petals, which just sounds stunning to me. I think it'll go really well with sort of this pink and purple garden we have going on back here. So back up a little bit. They look good, they got plenty of room. And then the star of the show over here, the window box. The stain color is called Coffee by Minwax. It's a really rich dark brown. I think it contrasts really well against our cream colored brick. I am so happy that I went with the lavender. I think it gives it a really sweet cottage feel. And again, it goes with the purples and the pinks. And then what I tried to do was, first of all, I mirrored each side. So I did 3 lavender and then mirrored that side with that side. But I put things that I thought I might grab more often in the back, since I'll be pulling it from the kitchen sink area, and then things that I won't in the front. So in the back there, let's see if it'll focus. In the back here, I've got romaine and spinach, same as that side. I've got curly kale, red romaine, and then I've got rosemary, thyme. Is that it? Yeah, so it's just a bunch of kale, romaine, spinach, and then thyme and rosemary. And then I also did these vines here so that they'll trail down and be pretty spillers eventually. But yeah, I'm really liking how this turned out, you guys. I think it looks really sweet. So peaceful out here this morning, but I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope that it gave you lots of gardening ideas and inspiration. I had fun just coming out here with you guys, cleaning up the beds, doing some basic mulching, some new plants. I love to freshen things up for the spring, and I had a lot of fun taking you along with me. If you liked today's video, do me a favor and give it a big thumbs up. That lets me know that you like gardening content and you want to see more of it here on my channel. And if you want to see me do some more content just like this, let me know down in the comments below. I have quite a few more beds I would like to build out back here, and I think it'd be fun to just kind of make this a little series this summer. But that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you soon in the next one. Bye.